back on January the 7th. Austin won in 5 sets, 15-9 in the 5th. There was a three-headed monster for Austin. Eggleston 18 Ks, Skinner 17, Maddie Banks 16 kills in that one. And on the overdig, Carroll takes care of business immediately.
Get used to saying the name Carroll. She is so offensive at the net. We talked a lot about her blocks, but she can be so lethal. That quick snap of the wrist, oh, I'm watching for it all night long.
So last time these two teams met, Drevniak 25 kills, Eggleston 18, Skinner 17, Banks 16. And so an immediate challenge here on the first point of this match. This is the 7th meeting all time. In the previous 6, Austin has won 5 of them.
So the ball's definitely in. I think the challenge is maybe there was a touch at the net, and now that I'm seeing it in slow motion, I think Carroll might have clipped the tape there with her arm.
Challenge successful.
Ah, it's on the block, I see.
Yeah, just a little graze of the net. So Austin gets the first point. Madison Skinner will serve. Well done for Jaylee Winters.
That's good work by her. We know that every team that plays Nebraska are targeting Winters, especially when you look at who's next to her in the serve. She's pretty the obvious solution to go after in serve, but she handles that beautifully.
She received a third of their serves on Friday against Madison, passed at a rate of 47%, good pass rate. That's just slightly below league average. Flying out of the back row, Madison Skinner. Skinner had her struggles in the match on Thursday at Salt Lake. Over the last couple of matches, 9 kills, 15 attack errors. Maddie Banks turning one around against her former team. Was with Love Nebraska last year. He's coming home in more ways than one. Former Nebraska Cornhusker. Out of system here, it's Jordan Larson. Dug by Banks off the soft block. And there's Logan Eggleston, making her presence known for the first time.
It's a good point you made as well about the errors on Austin's side. They gave up 17 in their last match, and that was kind of one of the things they need to keep an eye on in this match in particular.
Short serve and too short for Banks. Maddie Banks' best match this season was that season opener. First serve for Love this year, January 7th. Those 16 kills, her high this year. And now Carroll serves it away. Two-time Olympic medalist for Brazil. O'Neal on the slide. There's a nice diving dig. Effort anyway. Jaylee Winters, but unable to keep that one alive.
I like going to Asia early. Talk about how you can establish that zone, make it difficult for the blockers to pay attention to just one player. You have to make sure you're getting your middle firing.
She had a great match on Thursday in the loss at Salt Lake. Led her team in aces with a couple of them. Almost had one there. Also in points, in kills, and in blocks. Molly McCage, another player who had a good match on Thursday.
I think we might have seen a challenge there as well if that hadn't gone Austin's way. I thought it tagged the floor, even on the serve. But yeah, O'Reilly, early days, she's working on that slide, getting it going for McCage and for O'Neal.
5-3 Austin. Wow! How about that? Jaylee Winters, just some great vision. A little bit of a lapse for Austin.
Yeah, Drevniak hasn't been offensive as we'd liked to see her in the last few matches, but that's a really good high volleyball IQ play. And especially even if someone had played it, that takes out one of the attackers.
Yeah, I said Winters. That was obviously Kimberly Drevniak. O'Reilly with an overset. And Austin reached over the net. Watch Drevniak again.
Yeah, that ball's so inside for her, and there's not really a lot of options here, and I'm surprised that Austin didn't react quicker to that. It's essentially a free ball.
O'Reilly teeing up McCage going down the line.
Cage is becoming pretty synonymous with slide in the world of volleyball if you watch it. So good at finding the empty space.
Dykema going to Thader, celebrating her 31st birthday today. The birthday girl with a kill. Emily Thader. There she is, number 2. Ninth-year pro out of the University of Missouri. September helped Team USC to gold at the Nebraska Pan Am Cup Final 6. And there she is, the ageless one, Jordan Larson. Will be 40 next fall, playing her final professional season. Skinner, diving dig effort, but no go. And 7-6, Austin leading it. Madison Skinner with her first kill. And Logan Eggleston will serve. That was Winters, got dug by Eggleston. Back set. Thader on the block. Thader and Winters. Jaylee Winters, pardon me.
These are the blocks that sting a little bit more because Skinner's done well to hit high into the hands and off the top of the block, and it lands just in bounds. Someone could potentially be underneath that and get it up.
Yeah, those are the kinds you really don't like, right? Maybe talking about a couple of days ago. Not like you do about a roof sometimes, but. Now McCage will serve. Talking about birthdays, she has one coming up on Monday. Back row attack, Drevniak going hands, didn't get him, didn't get the back line either. And they're thinking there was a touch there. And there's a challenge. Lexi Rodriguez was pretty confident, nodding to the players on the other side of the net like, yeah, there was a touch.
Drevniak was one of my players to watch in the last match because I feel as though the way that she goes is the way that Nebraska goes. And she didn't have a great match, only 8 points. This is someone they have to get going. And I like this swing out of her. Good decision to go high. She's not going straight into the bottom of a big block, but does she get the touch? I don't know.
Despite Lexi's confidence, the challenge unsuccessful. And it's 9-7 Austin. McCage will serve again. See if she targets Jaylee Winters. It was Jordan Larson. Great passer. And Carroll on the slide with a kill.
And you'll notice there on the reception, Jordan Larson took a little bit more space. They kind of squeezed Winters out of the reception. And I like this from Nebraska. Just use your 2 passers that are 2 of the best in the world. Why not? When you're with Lexi Rodriguez, then you can get your middle going.
Yeah, Rodriguez and Larson, excellent passers. Free ball coming. Skinner again, second swing of the rally. And she gets the job done.
I harp on about this a lot. High-level teams, if you get a free ball, especially from a team that has Jordan Larson on it, you have to make that a point for you. It has to be given that you're going to score that ball, and that's exactly what Austin do.
Madison Skinner, outside hitter in college, but opposite as a pro because she wants to be on the same Olympic team as her sister Avery, outside hitter for Team USA. Winters, blocked by O'Neill and O'Reilly. And Brie O'Reilly finding a way to get it done.
A little scrappy, a little unorthodox.
Sometimes you just got to junk it up, right? Short serve from Skinner. Bump set Dykema. Drevniak with that big left-hand swing. O'Neal got dug by Larson. Drevniak tips it over. Maddie Banks dug by Larson. Winters! Victoria Noe, excellent libero, couldn't dig that one.
One of the other things that Nebraska did well in their last match was they outlasted those long rallies. So I think that's where Nebraska might have the edge if they can get some defense going in those transition plays. Tire out Austin.
And because of the snow out in Atlanta, they had a 12-day training block. O'Neal on the slide. And that's one thing that Susie Fritz had them working on a lot, was in transition. And it paid off on Friday in the win over Madison. First set action here in Omaha. O'Neal on the slide. And right now, Austin leading at 12-9.
For yourself, but for your team. Let's give it up one time for our Love Athletes of the Month, presented by Yeti.
Fans, keep those eyes on that big board. Let's check out what some of our players were rocking on their walk-ins here before the match. Way more swag than I have. There's probably a lot of people here that can dress just like these guys, but let's check out what's
in their last match looked so clean in those first two sets. They're winning now by a couple of points, but it doesn't look like that same volleyball that they were playing a couple of days ago.
Excellent pass as Rodriguez goes to the floor. Drevniak off the soft block, dug by Banks. Back set O'Reilly. Swing by Skinner. Kill for Skinner. Winners couldn't dig it. And consecutive kills for Skinner. So we're talking about her and her sister Avery. They were teammates last summer in the Volleyball Nations League for the first time. But just do a little imagining here, Key. What would it be like for those two sisters, Avery and Madison, not just to be Olympic teammates in LA, but to stand atop the medal stand together? Wouldn't that be remarkable?
That'd be amazing. I mean, I've spoken to her about that, and she's so proud to represent USA in a USA jersey at any level, but it's an ultimate dream for her to be with her sister and to do something huge for the USA.
Well, Madison with dreams of making the Olympic team, and the person with that kill was Jordan Larson, who has more Olympic medals than any other indoor U.S. volleyball Olympian. She has 4. Double sub coming in, Gabby Blossom and Ann Bausch. And Blossom serve. High in the air goes Eggleston, cross court, and gets the job done. 16-11 Austin. Back to rotation 1. Bree O'Reilly, the setter, will serve for Austin. Overpass, and it's put down by Eggleston. 17-11 Austin.
Service pressure has been really good so far. Only 1 error in the serve out of Austin. They've just done a really good job of putting that pressure in that first contact.
Good pass by Winters. Blossom going to Bausch. Dug by O'Reilly. Bumps at Inoue. Eggleston high in the air. Off the block. Pancake by Banks. Kept alive. Free ball coming for Blossom. She has options. She goes to Thader. Diving dig by O'Reilly. Diving dig by Blossom. Each setter having to go to the floor. The free ball coming here. O'Reilly. And it's off-speed Skinner. Pancake by Rodriguez. Back row attack by Winters. Dug by Inoue. Oh, this is fun. Skinner again going wrist away. And she ends the longest rally so far in this match.
This is the kind of volleyball we want to see here. USA versus USA. Rodriguez versus Skinner. O'Neill versus Larson. I mean, these long rallies are what get your blood boiling if you're a volleyball fan.
Yes, they will. Austin wins it. Timeout taken by Nebraska and Susie Fritz. So we talked about the double sub. We always keep 3 hitters in the front row. So when the setter reaches the front row, the opposite goes to the back row, they will switch places. So you always have 3 attackers in the front.
Yeah, and the importance of this is exactly like you mentioned. You want to have 3 attackers as an option at all times. And typically your setter is going to be maybe one of your smaller players. Perhaps she's a weakness in the block or a target at the front court. So if you keep her in the back court, you get that extra row of 3 more rotations with a more offensive front court.
College volleyball fans know that they have a lot more subs even than League One. There are 14 subs per set allowed in college volleyball, so you frequently see it. There are more subs allowed in League One than in international volleyball. International volleyball 6, League One volleyball 8. And international volleyball, you come out, you're not allowed to return that set. If you start the set and you leave, you are allowed to return 1 time in the same position. There's Bausch on the back set from Blossom.
Perfect example of the double sub. You're using somebody who is tall and strong, physical in the front court, and then you've got Gabby Blossom, who if she were up there in the front court, she wouldn't be attacking. First of all, obviously she's a setter, but also her block wouldn't be as strong.
Skinner dug by Blossom. Kept alive by Rodriguez. Bausch with the swing. Kept alive by Blossom again for the moment, but Austin gets this side out. 19-12 Austin. There's Gabby Blossom, number 13. Lexi Rodriguez was asked, how intense are your practices? And Lexi said, it depends on how heated Gabby Blossom gets.
Fair enough.
He said they're a fun team, and Blossom's one that keeps them in line and holds them accountable. There's Lexi. Out of system here, and back set to Bausch, who gets it done anyway. Good work by Blossom, kind of out of system, going with the back set anyway.
Yeah, and her defense has been phenomenal. You saw in the last couple of plays, she's been popping some things up. Even if it didn't go Austin's way, that extra defense in the backcourt helps as well. So all these kind of little strategic pieces that coaches have to take in mind. What are the give and takes? What are you gaining? What are you losing by trading off on these players?
O'Reilly to McCage, got dug by Larson. Winters, dug by Inoue. But it's a kill for Jaylee Winters. 1914 Austin. Thader again celebrating a birthday, 31 years old today, and she will serve again. Out of system here, off the net, Banks. Easy dig for Blossom, set for Larson, swing for Winters, rolls one over, Jaylee Winters.
She had 14 points in the last match, so a good step up, and we asked about having those offensive pins. She did a really good job in the last match, but I like Austin going there with that little tip right over, but the problem is you got Jordan Larson, so even when you don't have a setter that can step in.
Susie Fritz says that she's much more confident this year, and having played for Team USA, the Pan Am Cup Final 6 in September, came in ready to train at a high level. O'Reilly and Skinner.
Skinner already having a much better night than she did a couple of days ago, and it's the range that we've seen from her. We've seen her, as you mentioned, that wrist away, which means you turn your thumb down and go to the line, or when you turn your thumb up and cut it inside the block. She's shown us a lot of creative shots already.
Yeah, a little bit like a pitcher in baseball throwing a changeup or a sinking fastball. You pronate your wrist. Back set to Bausch off the soft block. Swing by O'Neal, didn't get it. Here comes Winters. Back on her face. And it's put down by Banks.
The net play has been excellent by Austin. All set long so far. Whenever there's something scrappy happening tight at the net, they've been handling it beautifully. And you have to have a lot of discipline, especially in a moment like that where it's easy to get caught up and maybe touch the net. Banks does a great job.
Dandy pass by Winters that time. She has the swing as well. And the kill, her fifth. Shout out Nebraska, but lots of breathing room for Austin.
Yeah, I think for Nebraska right now, they're kind of down because their passing has not been excellent. They're only passing at about 30%. We've seen sparks of them using their middle here and there, but that I think is what's been great for Austin, putting the pressure on that first contact.
They're the fifth best passing team in the league in terms of good pass percentage. O'Neal, dug by Dykema, kept alive by Winters. By Drevniak, rather, swing by Winters. Skinner. Bumps up by Rodriguez. Winters again. Tools the block. Consecutive kills for Jaylee Winters. And Nebraska back within 4.
Yeah, she's going through a big block at the net. We talked about how aggressive the ladies in purple are going to be at the net. So Winters just targeting the seam between them.
Coming off a nice set from Lexi Rodriguez. Eggleston, good pass. Banks, back in the face, dug by Eggleston. Here's Skinner. And she finds a seam in the block. Side out Austin, and they maintain control. 5-point lead. She comes out. Julianne Fawcett comes in. And Carly Lloyd comes in. So Austin is using the dub sub.
And Nebraska now, if they want to have a chance in this set, they have to serve tougher. We've seen too many possibilities for middles to get involved for Austin.
Olympic bronze medalist Carly Lloyd served it away. Off speed from Winters. Banks was there. Lloyd back set. Fawcett, the veteran, kept alive by the even more veteran Jordan Larson. Incredible dig by Jordan Larson.
This has so many pieces in one play. The incredible, as you mentioned, pickup by Lexi Rodriguez and then Larson to keep it in play. But this is a difficult shot for Carol. She's getting the ball over her shoulder. It will be so easy for that to trickle down her front. But instead, she does a great job of penetrating her arms. That's what she's so good at.
Now you're right, dig by Rodriguez. Second contact by Larson. And there's an ace for Jaylee Winters.
So we talked about, right? You have to start getting a little more pressure on that first contact if you're Nebraska, and you can take Austin out of their comfort zone, and ace will be the first step in doing that.
That is her 6th this year against 8 service errors. Looking to continue to apply some pressure. Good pass by Eggleston. Lloyd going outside to Banks off the soft block. Free ball here for Lloyd. Fawcett going high hands, didn't get him. And Nebraska back within 2, trying to exercise themselves here in this first set.
Challenge on the play by Austin.
There's a challenge to see whether or not there was a touch.
I don't think there was. I think Nebraska's just put a little bit of fire under Austin with the way they're creeping back into it. And again, starting with the serve, we've seen them now target a few different people. And that ball high for Fawcett. She's looking for fingers, but I don't think there was a touch on it.
Nope, not close. Challenge unsuccessful.
Worth it, though, to slow down
Sure.
the momentum, maybe make the players of Nebraska think, make Jaylee Winters have a second thought about how tough she's going to serve.
Challenges resolve quickly with the Hawkeye technology. That's why you get 2 per set, so why not use it? Winters will serve again. Last time was a good pass by Eggleston. This time really tight to the net. Diving dig by Inoue. Banks goes off speed. Sent back on her face by Drevniak. Eggleston there. Banks again. Hard angle attack. Dug by Rodriguez. Jordan Larson. Inoue couldn't dig. Oh, no, she did. I thought it was headed out of play. Dykema back set. Drevniak rejected by Banks. Big side out for Austin. Big block. They lead 23-20. Good pass by Winters. Wasn't Dykema's best set. Larson. Jordan Larson tools the block. Larson had a match high in kills and swings and won over Madison on Friday.
Back to serve will be Carol Da Silva.
Ana Carolina Da Silva serves it away. Lloyd going to Fawcett, off speed, diving play by Drevniak, but not enough. And it's set point for Love Austin.
Back to serve, set point. Will be number 7, Asia O'Neal.
Asia O'Neal had a couple of service aces on Thursday at Salt Lake in the 5-set loss there. Austin won the first 2 sets that night, but then dropped the last 3. Those first 2 set wins were more comfortable than this one has been. Drevniak keeps Nebraska alive here in this first set. Second set point coming up for Austin.
Yeah, that's the arm we've gotten used to for Drevniak. The lefty going inside, looking for the seam.
Again, she had 25 kills. Tied for 3rd most in league history. That came against Austin on January 7th. And Eggleston ends it. First set goes to Austin, the visiting team here in Omaha, 25-22. Logan Eggleston getting her 4th kill. But the star of the set was most outstanding player of the Final Four in 2023 when Texas won their 2nd consecutive NCAA title. Madison, one of 2 players in the league that has 3 NCAA championships to her credit, 1 for Kentucky and 2 for Texas. The other players, Adriana Fitzmaurice of Nebraska, won 3 at Stanford. Skinner also the MVP of the Love Finals last year. Dykema going to Drevniak. That rolled right across the tape and went out.
If I'm Austin right now, I don't want to see them go away from targeting Winters in the serve. I think that's what served them really well in that first set, and they have to keep following up with that because it's something that works. Don't go away from it.
All right, see if they can continue to do that. That time it was Larson. Covered up by Rodriguez. Winters pushing it against the block. Skinner on the back end. And Maddie Banks went high hands and claiming she got him. And we might have a challenge coming here from Eric Sullivan.
And while we're looking at this challenge, what's interesting about that reception for me is that we're talking about targeting Winters, but Jordan Larson's taken a lot more court, so pretty much as soon as the ball is served or even tossed, because that's the new rule, she's moving over and taking a lot of space on the left.
What's preventing them from doing that every time when she's in the back row?
Well, it's more about timing-wise. If you have enough time to do it, you can do it, but one player has to take a whole lot more court, which can be dangerous.
O'Reilly goes for the dump. Bri O'Reilly. That's her 8th kill this season. She had a couple of them on Thursday. Big smile for Bri out of Vancouver, British Columbia area. Langley, BC to be exact. Went to Trinity Western University in her hometown. Good volleyball school in U Sports, Canada's equivalent to the NCAA. There's Larson, dug by Banks.
Oh.
Diving play by Dykema. Skinner, wrist away, and goes wide.
Now, how about that defense from Dykema? Just at the last minute deciding, you know what, I am actually going to go for that. She comes in short because she's expecting the tip, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Excellent change of direction mid-action.
Laura Dykema out of the Netherlands. Host of a popular podcast in the Netherlands, Over the Top, with a few other volleyball players. Logan Eggleston, Olympic hopeful. There are a few players in the team that are legit Olympic hopefuls. Eggleston, O'Neill, Skinner, O'Reilly for Canada. Canada trying to make the Olympic Games for the first time since Atlanta in 1996. They'll have their qualifier this summer. And Winters into the block.
Yeah, good movement by McCage, recognizing that ball a little slower, but stays there in position to get the ball down.
Molly holding out 3 fingers. What's that mean?
That's a great question. 3 fingers?
I thought so.
We'll ask her next time.
Drevniak. Thunderous kill for Drevniak. Side out Nebraska.
Inside. And we talk about the inside arm a lot. Olive Cage floating just that little bit.
And now she'll serve. Eggleston. Wrist away, hard angle attack of her own. Get to the side out for Austin. And back up by 2.
You got me thinking about those 3 fingers. The only thing I can think is that she's hitting a 3, which some people will use that, the front finger and the thumb to represent that.
Okay. Pass on the dive from Rodriguez. Thader on the slide, and Banks couldn't dig it. Emily Thader kind of coming into her own. Played overseas 7 years, Germany and France. Won a title in the top French league, 23-24. One of the league's top middle blockers. But again, Susie Fritz says she's just coming so much more confident this year. That bump set tight to the net. And it goes away in Nebraska, much to the chagrin of Skinner. Thought she had it.
Yeah, I think she clipped the antenna on the way through. That's all I can think of.
And now Larson's serve. Overhand pass by Eggleston is a good one. She takes the swing. She gets the kill.
At one point, let's look at camera 3 so I can talk about the reception.
6-5 Austin.
Was creeped into just the tiniest space there on that reception and still does a great job of taking her hands overhead.
Ace for Eggleston. That is her 11th ace this year against just 4 service errors.
And look at the reason this serve is so good. Jordan Larson and Lexi Rodriguez have kind of crept over to the left side. That leaves that line wide open to get an ace.
Yeah, left side from the server's viewpoint. And there's Winters. Shoots it past Inoue. Jaylee Winters, the most decorated volleyball player in the history of Creighton University. Creighton only 5 miles away from Baxter Arena, where this match is being played. Maddie Banks against her former team. Kind of like establishing the running game in football. Open up the passing game. Asia O'Neal, dug by Larson. Winters off speed, finding some open floor.
Sorry, what's going on?
Eight 7 Austin. 8 kills now for Jaylee Winters. That's a match high. Madison Skinner has 7. Logan Eggleston 7 for Austin. And Skinner, dug by Larson. Winters off the soft block. Inoue there. Back row attack by Eggleston. Good work by Carroll. Swing by Drevniak. Kill for Drevniak. Give a lot of credit to Carroll on that attack by Skinner out of the back row to slow things down.
That's a perfect example of exactly what we talked about. Those touches on the block, almost more important because this is an option because of it. The team was able to run that transition. It wasn't a straight stuff down block, but it was a continuation of play.
So when you see the term block touch, that's what that means. You slow it down enough for your teammate able to dig it and resulting in an attack.
And the whole game just opens up the more of those touches you have. And here's another great example from Drevniak. Just slowing down the game because those balls are coming at you so hard. If you don't get a touch, a deflection on it, you're expecting the defender to get in front of it. And it's just such a quick reaction time.
Hard to imagine anybody loving volleyball and her role in it more than Kimberly Drevniak.
Oh, I thought that was just a statement. Hard to imagine.
Oh, look out. Dykema ate that one. It stayed alive. Somehow, she kept it alive, taking it right in the face. Watch this bullet. Oh.
That's why people don't love volleyball right there. Perfect example.
Oh, my gosh. And then Winters kept it alive off the net, and Drevniak killed it. The question is Dykema going to be able to continue? My goodness.
Well, we hope that she's okay. And if you want to dissect that in terms of strategy, again, why the blockers were not in front of the outside hitter is because Austin's done such a good job establishing the middle, and that's the result.
Laura Dykema, 20th year pro, 35 years old, out of the Netherlands. Pro stops in her native nation, also Italy, Germany, Russia, and now the U.S. And she has them out of system. Inoue going to Banks, off speed. It's Winters who had the dig and who has the kill. Jaylee Winters. 9 kills for her.
Yeah, huge night for Winters, and that's exactly what Nebraska need is more offensive power on the pins. We haven't seen a whole lot of middle, so she's kind of stepping into that role and making sure she gets it done.
Winters again, blocked by O'Neal and Skinner.
Blocked by Skinner and O'Neal. Point, Austin. Madison Skinner back to serve.
(11-9), Nebraska leading. Madison Skinner will serve. And they're going to check on Dykema again to indeed make sure that she is okay after taking that Maddie Banks spike right in the face.
Yeah, hard to tell what's going on. It looks like they're wrapping a finger. So I'm not sure if it's a related injury. Look, volleyball's a dangerous sport. I know there's a net between you and your opponent, but it's not for the weak.
So you want to play pro volleyball. Dykema. Low, quick set to Carroll. Free ball here for Laura. Combo play. Winters. Overdig by Inoue. Kill for Winters. Yet another one. She has 10. 12-9. Nebraska leading it. Jaylee Winters. Big kill there earlier in the set. Kimberly Drevniak. Some big kills. We'll talk more about Drevniak when we come back. Meantime, one more look at this from Jaylee Winters.
And Kimberly is truly the embodiment of that.
How about that view on that mountaintop in the Philippines? Also heavily involved with the clubs, and she said that volleyball gave her her first sense of belonging. And as Jaylee Winters gets another kill, Drevniak said volleyball has given so much to her, she wants to give back. She's playing for that girl in the stands or watching from home. She wants them to believe that anything is possible.
Love that.
Jaylee Winters also very involved in the club scene. Skinner right down into the net. Attack air for Madison Skinner. 14-9 Nebraska. Looking to even this up at one set apiece. Winters, for her part, as she gets ready to serve, is founder of a company called Icon Athletics, dedicated to helping female athletes run their own sports camps, as Jaylee does. Carroll, dug by Inoue. Maddie Banks, dug by Winters. Now Larson, diving dig by Eggleston. This is high-level defense here. Lots of options here for Dykema. She tees up Drevniak, and the block couldn't get there.
That's the arm. That's the reason that this Nebraska team were giving other opponents so much trouble early on this season. Have a look at this, one-on-one, and the absolute slice, thumb down away. There's nobody stopping that.
15-9 Nebraska, and Austin takes a timeout. What is Nebraska doing so much better this set than they did in the first?
They're serving a lot better. They're getting Austin way out of system. They're getting their blockers in good positions, but also they have been scoring themselves. As you mentioned, Jaylee Winters, a big part of the offense, and a lot of the blockers are probably focused on Jordan Larson and making sure they get in front of her, and she's only got 2 points, but other players are stepping up, and I think that's the difference. When you want to play at a high level, you can't just rely on one player. Everyone's got to do a little something, and that's what we're seeing.
Good team efforts. 15-9 Nebraska leading, looking to even this up at one set. Of course, best of 5 sets. First 4 sets to 25. Got to win by 2. 5th set if necessary to 15. Jaylee Winters will serve for Nebraska. O'Neal on the slide, tools the block. You see that happen to Carroll very often. Asia O'Neal had such a big match on Thursday at Salt Lake.
Yeah, she was the top scorer of that match. She had 20 points, and that was, you know, more than Jordan Larson had in her last match, more than Alexa Gray had, more than Tessa Grubbs had. She, as a middle blocker, she was such a dominant part of that match.
Right. What a dig by Skinner, and on the joust, it's won by O'Neal. By O'Reilly, pardon me. Good dig by Skinner. And O'Reilly takes care of business after the dig by Maddie Skinner. And gets a little help from her teammate on the earring. Madison Skinner going to take that one to the sideline. Setters have a lot of duties, don't they?
Yeah, you got to be emotional support. You got to be earring patrol. There's a lot of things going on if you're a setter.
So Madison Skinner back to work. That was her 4th dig. Maddie Banks will serve. Dyke with the back set. Drevniak. Onoe. Big effort, but couldn't get it done. Drevniak. The heat on that from her left arm.
Yeah, it's a combination of different things. For her, she's hitting high, she's a lefty, so she's a little bit inside the block. She already has that advantage to go in that direction.
Left hand to the opposite. Ball doesn't have to cross her body before she can hit it. See if they can capitalize on the free ball here. Eggleston got dug by Dykema. Set by Drevniak, and then Larson just pushes it into the block. An assist for Kimberly Drevniak and a kill for Jordan Larson.
Larson, the queen of those off-speed shots. Having a lot of fun this season as well, having announced her retirement. But that is something is really difficult to defend against. You might think, oh, it's coming at you softer. It's not a hard-driven ball, but it's the timing. It's the mismatch in the timing between the blockers already on their way down.
Key, you were a middle blocker. Drevniak's an opposite. And there's an ace for Carroll. 18-12 Nebraska. Carroll's 4th ace to go along with just 4 service errors this year.
And that one looking like it's going out. Anyway, just dropping at the last minute.
Knuckled right into Inoue. And she will serve again. But going back to that assist by Drevniak, as somebody who's not a center, you like Drevniak, although you play different positions, that has to feel good.
Yeah, you got to practice a little bit of everything. I think the best players in the world, the high-level players internationally, are not one-trick ponies. You cannot afford to be a middle that doesn't know how to serve or an opposite that doesn't know how to set. You have to have at least the basics of every single skill, which can sometimes hurt players, middles, for example, in college, the ones that don't serve because the libero serves for them.
Right.
That can be a disadvantage when you get to the pros. You're asked to do those things that you maybe haven't perfected.
Yeah, here at the professional level, on the national level, liberos don't serve. There's Larson again after the previous kill by the veteran Julianne Fawcett. 19-13 Nebraska running away with this 2nd set, and Drevniak will serve. She has a couple of aces this year against 5 service errors. That behind the platform of Eggleston. Eggleston well off the net and rejected by Thader.
Thader also one of the top blockers in the league. We haven't seen a whole lot of her tonight, but just that sort of silent movement at the net in the right place at the right time. I'm going to show that blocking graphic.
They have other middle blockers. Iga Vasileska, who hasn't played this year. Candelaria Herrera, who's played in 15 of their 22 sets, but didn't play the last match or this one. As Thader is getting the run at middle blocker. Diving play by Drevniak. Carly Lloyd going to McCage, and Molly goes wide. Upsetted herself in that one. Put her head in her hands. 21-13 Nebraska.
And McCage is, I'd say that the setters have gone a little bit away from McCage and the middles in general. I'd love them to go back. She's only had 5 opportunities to spike so far.
There's Eggleston. They give her opportunity. 21-14. And now Julianne Fawcett will serve. No, she's going to come out. And on the dub sub, O'Reilly and Skinner back in. And Lloyd and Fawcett out. They're out of system here. Larson going to try to better the ball, and she does. It's a great get-out-of-jail-free card right there, huh? Jordan Larson, her 5th kill. Just send her way, and she'll figure something out.
Yeah, she's one of those players that has a really good court sense. So it's not necessarily that she's going to hit the hardest ball or she's going to jump the highest or put that much power on it, but she does such a good job at recognizing who's in front of her. So where are the spots on the court that she can hit, and maybe if there's a mismatch in a block.
Kind of like a baseball pitcher who doesn't have the velocity that they once had. Used to be 95, 96. Now it's 91, 92, but they know how to get the job done.
Yeah, I think the phrase as you get older is work smarter, not harder, and I think she's absolutely embodying that.
Service error for Larson. Her 9th this year, came in with 4 service aces. Now Eggleston will serve. Lots of breathing room for Nebraska here. And there's a signal again from McCage.
Yeah, those blocking signals, they'll be a little bit different for every team as well, because the idea is you don't want anyone else to know what they are, but you're giving ideas of where you're going to block, what your blocking priorities are going to be, or you might be communicating with your setter, hey, here's what I want to hit in transition.
Waiting the signal whether or not there was a touch at the net there. There's been a good dig by Inoue. So no challenge issued here. It was just checking it out, and Eggleston, she thought she had the touch, and she did. Eggleston, 8 kills now, hitting .400. And Bausch off the set from Gabby Blossom. Bausch Friday against Madison, dubs up the first couple of sets, and then started the last 3 at opposite. 11 kills at 162.
There's
tough serve.
I was exactly going to say that. Another perfect example of what Nebraska have done better this set, and it's the serving. It's stepped up to a point that maybe not getting the aces every time, but they're making it so tough for Austin to get those connections.
Set point for Nebraska. Out of system here. They go to Skinner, pushes it against the blocks, kept alive by Winters and Blossom. Swing for Bausch over the top. Bausch with a kill. That ends it. Out of Bausch. Native of the Netherlands. And Nebraska evens this up at a set apiece, running away with this one.
Scrappy play by Winters to keep it alive. And
Set. And she's targeted immediately and has a very good pass. And Eggleston, dug by Rodriguez. Here comes Winters, well off the net, finding a way to get it done anyway. It is her night so far, Jaylee Winters.
yeah, feed the beast. That is exactly what Nebraska have been doing well, making the right decisions on who to set and when.
There's Zoe Jarvis. This time it's Eggleston. And Logan Eggleston getting the touch at the net. Eggleston 9 kills. Got blocked 1 time. Now 10 kills, 17 swings, hitting .520. Asia O'Neal serves for Austin. Dykema on the back set. And there's Drevniak, who just taps it into the block. We've seen what she can do with the big swings. Also very creative.
Also the pushback from Dykema. That's a difficult set. You saw how far she was pushed forward to fling that ball back with power and width. Important.
Jarvis couldn't handle that one. The serve results in a free ball. Dykema going to Larson. Sent back in her face. Covered up nicely by Winters. O'Reilly went for it. First contact on the slide. McCage. Net violation against Nebraska.
McCage getting pretty well known for that slide, and also have a look at on her legs. She's wearing a sleeve that only wears on one leg, just like the basketball players, for multitude of reasons.
Did you ever wear one?
No, I'm not that cool.
Skinner off the back set from O'Reilly. 3-2 Austin. Madison lost the first set on Friday, Nebraska lost the first set to Madison, 25-19. Took them a little while to get warmed up in that one. This one as well. Dykema to Carroll, dug by Jarvis. Eggleston. Dykema not happy with that. Go back to that dig by Jarvis. And then Eggleston on the back end gets it done.
Yeah, Eggleston's been quietly efficient for her team, and it's those kind of plays where that ball's a little inside. It's not the perfect situation, but she's still managing to find something.
Short serve by O'Reilly. Had Nebraska out of system, but Larson gets it done anyway. Again, out of system. There's that get out of jail free card, Jordan Larson.
And she's been smiling more this season than I think I've ever seen her when she plays. I think there's a weight's been lifted on her, knowing that she's retiring. It's going to be the final time she gets to play the sport that she loves so much. There's a levity about her this season.
Yeah, I love the way you put it on Friday. Kind of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy what we have left. McCage, blocked by Thader. The birthday girl, Emily Thader.
Look at the press from Thader here. She doesn't go anywhere. She knows that McCage has been a little quiet so far in the offense, so she's waiting and hanging with her.
Carroll serve. Short serve. Pancake by Jarvis. Swing by Skinner. Overdig by Winters and out of play. And Skinner had a big first set for Love Austin. Eggleston will serve. 9 kills for Skinner, hitting 190, 21 swings. Overpass, and that one's put down by Skinner. Skinner, or was it McCage? Yeah, Molly McCage.
And Nebraska only passing at about 35% right now. That's why we haven't seen a lot of middle action. But that overpass, another indication that reception is a little shaky right now on the ladies in green.
Even in their 5-set win over Madison on Friday, they got outpassed. Madison's good pass percentage was 57%. And Nebraska's was just 41%. But they won anyway in 5 sets. Too strong for Drevniak. 7-5 Austin.
Yeah, you know you want to be tough and aggressive in your serve, but keeping those errors to a minimum, especially against a team that's not passing really well.
Asia O'Neal, dug by Drevniak. O'Neal's second chance, takes care of it. 8-5 Austin. Neither set's been particularly close. That first set, Nebraska scored a few late points to make it look closer than it really was. Thader pushing it back line and goes too long.
Barely. You saw McCage run up there. She recognized that it was going to be a tip, goes in for the short, and it goes right over her head.
Timeout taken by Nebraska. We're talking about passing, and if you're new to volleyball, a pass is the first contact after the serve. There's only one pass per rally. Each pass is rated 0 to 4. 3 is good, means the setter has basically 3 options. A 4 is perfect. The setter has 4 different options, and when you're in system, that means when the pass is a 3 or a 4. A good pass percentage means the number of times that the percentage of times that pass is a 3 or a 4. So your goal is to stay in system when you're receiving serve and when you're serving, to keep the other team out of system In other words, coaches will tell you, hey, let's win the serve and pass battle.
Yeah, and that's something we've just talked about that Nebraska hasn't dropped down a little bit on, is that they're not receiving that first ball well, which means they're not having options. It's harder to win that serve and pass battle if you're not doing well in the first contact.
They had that 12-day layoff because of the snow out in Atlanta, and they were able to work on things, and Susie Fritz told us they worked a lot on transition, and that's how they scored a lot of their points these last couple of matches. Off the block and out of bounds. Emily Thader on the slide. So that time a good pass, able to get the middle involved. 9-6, Austin. Larson will serve. Jarvis pass, a good one. Skinner swing, a good one. The FBSO, the first ball side out because of that good pass by Jarvis.
And I was a little surprised to see Larson go after Jarvis in the reception. The last person you want touching the ball is typically the libero, especially when there are two other players on the court that you can look after.
Lots of ways for Dykema to go here. The combo play. How about O'Reilly on the block, the setter? There by herself. Thader again. That's consecutive kills for Thader on the slide.
That's the transition you're talking about. That first ball was taken by Larson. Super simple, gets it into play, and then Thader has so much time to get behind, and she's one-on-one because of how perfectly that first ball was passed. Thank you.
So again, the birthday girl with a couple of kills on slides consecutively, and now she serves. Maddie Banks going with a hard angle attack. Getting the side up for Nebraska. There's Zoe Jarvis, and she told me last year, we're talking about transitions. She said that her team, Austin, they love long rallies, and as she told me last year, we want to drag them into deep water and watch them drown. Brought to you by Chase.
Yeah, I was looking for Austin to feed the middle, right? We talked about how impactful they were in the last game, and McCage and O'Neill both only have 4 kills. They have been trying to get them involved, and the passing's been good enough to do it. I'd like to see that continue as much as possible. And for Nebraska, they've only had 4 blocks, and we talked about Carol having such a block party. She's only got 1 so far. Medium level there.
Right, and she had 10 as part of their 17 against Madison on Friday. They had 10 blocks for Carroll, a league record. There comes Drevniak. Drevniak got the hands at the net. Side out Nebraska, 12-8.
The other thing to note about the blocking that was so good, well, on both sides, is that both teams will know that. So they're not going to be swinging blindly or low. They're swinging high. They're looking for angles. We've seen a few tips as well. So how do you respond and study another team and make sure you just don't play into their strengths?
Yeah, 35 blocks combined that match. Madison had 18 on Friday. Austin had 17. Eggleston with a kill. Side out Austin. They lead 13-8.
Out of system play, high on the inside. That typically would be a ball that you might see blocked, but again, perfect example of her going a little higher, waiting, taking a little bit of speed off it, waiting for that ball to float past the block.
How long did it take you to learn something like that?
Well, I was a middle, so I didn't do a whole lot of those high ball swings.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah, it's kind of a, you learn as you go, right? The more experience you get out there on court, the more you play against high-level blockers, the more you recognize when is the time to swing hard and when's the time to be a little more creative.
Winners dug by Skinner. Eggleston. Another kill for Eggleston. And Austin increases their lead. Eggleston has 13. 22 swings.
Yeah,
She's hitting 540.
That's huge for an outside hitter, a pin that gets a lot of junk sets. And you saw it, right? Out of system balls are coming there a lot. It's a good number even for a middle.
Exactly. Jaylee Winters having a great match in her own right. She's got a dozen kills, hitting .330. That's a good percentage for an outside. McCage on the slide, dug by Rodriguez. Drevniak got dug by Skinner. Eggleston dug by Lexi. Back in the face of Carroll. Drevniak again, dug by Jarvis. O'Reilly surveyed her options, went to Skinner. That seems like a good option a lot of the time. Madison Skinner.
Yeah, Austin's got a little bit away from using her in the last few minutes, it feels like, of this match, but she's someone who can really ride a wave of momentum for her team if she gets those kind of swings going again.
Bri O'Reilly, the setter, serves. Larson. Put a little heat on that one. Maybe she heard us talk about velocity. She's saying, hey, I still got some in the tank.
Especially one-on-one. There's only one blocker in front of her. She doesn't have to do a whole lot because her vision is so good. Because Carroll has held the block there, she's got so much open court.
Carroll's serve. Good pass by Eggleston, but McCage down into the net.
Looked like the connection a little bit low for McCage. The serve was excellent by Carroll to target Eggleston on her right side, really sharp to that line, and I'll look for her to do the same thing again.
Carroll short serve. Jarvis, good pass. O'Reilly, McCage, dug by Dykema. The set by Carroll, the swing by Drevniak. Sent back over nicely by Eggleston. Larson off the soft block. O'Reilly there. Bump set Jarvis. Here comes Eggleston. Hard angle attack and putting it down.
Well, it's a long rally past what the serve was, but I was shocked to see the changeup from Carroll. She did so well to go after Eggleston the second time. Takes some speed off it, goes a little shorter, but onto Jarvis, onto the libero, whose responsibility is to put up a perfect pass.
So you like mixing it up a lot of times, but if something's working.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Skinner from pretty good distance off the net, using her athletic ability to get high.
Difference there, she got the width. She needs, if you're going to swing to the right side of a block, is you have to have that ball go all the way to the antenna. Here's a perfect angle on it. The blockers are inside. Larson's expecting her to go sharp cross, which she's done a couple times. Leaves her wide open lane. Thank you. That's a great look at it to do replays.
She was able to thread it in there. Drevniak again. She's got 11 kills. Winters 13. Larson has 7. 17-12 Austin. Skinner dug by Dykema. Rodriguez on the bump set. Drevniak blocked by McCage.
And again, I'm questioning the service intention. I feel as though Jarvis has had too many touches on the ball in the reception because they're getting good options on it, and then great look by McCage to move over and take away the cross.
Blossom and Bausch coming in on the double sub. Dykema, Drevniak out. Big deep breath for McCage before she serves, and she serves an ace. Molly McCage, her first ace this year.
That's perfectly placed down the seam, and she's able to do it for a multitude of reasons, but I love the fact that she wears this leg sleeve. It's good for movement, it's good for movement of blood and recovery, but she in particular wears it because she calls it her slide leg for, well, it helps her to jump off of that left leg, but also she said it just looks cool. Fashion statement.
Lexi Hart in the match for Nebraska. Madison Skinner makes it 20-12 Austin. Skinner now with a dozen kills, hitting 280. Blossom going to Thader. Straight down to the floor.
The value of a good first contact is that right there. The speed and power from Thader is all made possible because that ball was right on the head of Gabby Blossom.
Again, no set has been particularly close. That first set score a little closer than it really was. Banks, dug by Larson. There's a block. Have a look again. O'Neal and Skinner.
That's a Texas Team USA connection right there.
Yep. Double sub employed by Austin as well. Lloyd and Fawcett in. Carly Lloyd, 15th year pro. Fawcett, 14th year pro. There's Thader, got dug by Jarvis. Diving play by Blossom. Back set by Thader. Swing by Lexi Hart. She got dug. There's Maddie Banks. Impressed by that back set by Emily Thader. 22-13 Austin. And Lloyd will serve again. And there's Lexi Hart. Signed to play with League One Volleyball last year with Nebraska, but out all the year after ACL and MCL injuries. Took her a year to rehab. Teammates love her. Lexi Rodriguez says that Lexi Hart has a great sense of humor. Kansas City native. Couple of weeks, the Love Classic will be in KC. Asia O'Neal. 23-14 Austin.
Going back to using her. She was so impressive coming into this match off of her last match. Cannot go away from it. I don't want to see Austin shy away from that. It's kind of become part of their DNA of their match.
Off the block and out of bounds. Set point for Austin. Maddie Banks will try to serve him across the finish line here. Blossom going to Hart. Dug by Fawcett. Off speed from Banks. Dug by Rodriguez. Bausch keeps it alive for the moment for Nebraska. Carly Lloyd slow to get up. Glad to see a smile on her face. Carly Lloyd is a mom. She's passionate that women aren't just an athlete or just a mom or just a business professional. Carly says we can do it all. Amen. Dykema back in on the double sub. And a service error ends it. Austin, 25-15.
I want to make sure that I'm scoring points for my team, and that's what she's been doing today.
When she's taken almost a quarter of the swings for her team. And as you talk about, there's a lot of junk sets when they're out of system or in transition. And I mean, to be hitting 560 is incredible. Candelaria Herrera is in the match. Herrera had back-to-back matches against Houston and Madison. It had combined 643, but then a couple of matches ago against Atlanta, 2 kills hit negative, and it didn't play on Friday against Madison, getting her first action in this one as Nebraska seeking some answers. They're going to even this one up at 2 apiece. Eggleston wanted the touch, didn't get it.
And I don't mind this change for Nebraska. Carol, who we talked a lot about, only has 3 points in the match so far, so I assume that she's in for her. interesting because in the last few sets, that was one of the things that both teams were doing really well. They were keeping the ball in play. We barely saw any service errors. I think 4 from Nebraska was the total. And Austin only gave up 2.
Banks pass is good. Off speed from Madison Skinner.
Skinner was one of the missing pieces for me in the set that they lost. She only had 1 point in that second set. Now she's got, I think she has a total of 16, but only 1 in that full set. That could be the change. If she gets going again, they take this set.
Thader wanted the touch, didn't get it. And it's 4-3 Austin. When these two teams squared off on January 7th in a rematch of last year's championship match, won by Love Austin in 3 sets. It went 5 on January 7th. That ball ruled down. But in that one, Eggleston had 18 kills. Skinner had 17. Banks had 16.
I think that's down.
Yep. Good call.
But the argument is from Nebraska.
And this one, Skinner 14, Eggleston 15. Banks has 5. Thader on the slide again. Speared by O'Reilly, kept alive by Jarvis. Bausch. O'Reilly couldn't dig that one.
And Bausch has come in over the last few matches as an opposite, but this time she's in her comfort position as an outside hitter. This is where she's played most of her career, and she loves that wide ball, especially if she can just let it hang in the air that split second longer and then go after it.
McCage. Rodriguez couldn't dig it. And we're back even at 5. First 3 sets, pretty comfortable wins. 2 for Austin, 1 for Nebraska. Bausch, consecutive kills for her. "18 previous years as a pro for Anna Bausch. 9 league titles. Emily Thader at the service line earlier in the 4th set as Nebraska tries to force a 5th. They won in 5 on Friday against Madison. Austin lost in 5 on Thursday at Salt Lake. They had to travel, of course. They were here by the time the match took place on Friday. How much of an advantage if you played 5 sets is having 72 hours as opposed to, say, 48? Slightly less in each case because this is a day game. Is there any advantage
To having a little bit more rest? Yeah,
having
100%.
one more day?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that 24 hours, your body can recover. You can have a chance to have a bit of downtime. You can maybe work on some things in training. Just having to turn that around back to back, those kind of, I mean, high-level players can do it, of course, but it's difficult.
Madison Skinner flying out of the pipe. She and Eggleston each with 15 kills now. She serves. It's Bausch who tools the block. Nebraska back even at 7.
And you mentioned a couple of her accolades. One of them is a Champions League silver medal, and I only know that because I was on the same team as her, but who was on the other side winning the gold medal? You want to take a guess?
Carroll.
No.
No.
Jordan Larson.
Jordan Larson, okay.
Yep, with Azajabashi in 2016.
Sazabashi and Turkier. O'Reilly went for the dump. Lexi Rodriguez sleuthed that out pretty well. Off speed from Bausch. High in the air goes O'Neal. Asia O'Neal with a kill. O'Neal with her 7th. 8-7. Austin leads it.
Yeah, we mentioned a couple of the missing pieces in that second set. I'd say the middles were really, really quiet. O'Neal had just 1 point and Molly McCage 0 in that second set that they lost.
Drevniak's been pretty quiet recently. Got dug by Banks. Sent back over the net by O'Reilly. Dykema going to Herrera. Dug by Jarvis. This time Bausch uses the block. Anna Bausch having a big fourth set.
Have a look at the patience as well. Keep in mind, this is a set from her national team player. Laura Dykema are Olympians together. If anyone knows the set that she wants, it's her.
The Dutch connection. Crossbody by Eggleston. She's got 16. Well, both Eggleston and Skinner having another good match.
Look for O'Neill to go after Bausch here in the reception.
Try to keep her out of the offense.
That's right.
Service error. She was sending it that way.
Yeah, keep her out of the offense, but also, again, when you have those three people lined up, Lexi Rodriguez, Jordan Larson, and anyone.
And anyone.
Fill in the blank. Anyone.
Right.
Whoever you are, you're going to be the one that's targeted.
Looked like Larson had been pinching over, but it was a service error anyway. Candelaria Herrera to serve. Net violation against Nebraska.
That's an unlucky one because it was a perfect serve
Right.
on to Eggleston, following the script as it was written up by the coach, getting the overpass, getting Brie O'Reilly to jump.
O'Reilly serve goes long. Good decision to let it go. Back even at 10.
And to serve, Kimberly Trevniak.
Trevniak going to Jarvis. Bottom dropped out of that serve. Eggleston took a little off it. 17 kills for Eggleston.
And Austin do well to get out of that because the ball was headed towards Banks and she kind of pulled away and said, let Jarvis get this. Wasn't a perfect opportunity to swing, but that's exactly when you go for the tip.
Now Larson, hard angle attack dug by Jarvis. Kept alive by O'Reilly. Free ball for Dykema to work with. It's outside to Larson. Excellent coverage by Lexi Rodriguez. She sleuthed that one out again. And there's Jordan Larson, and Larson coming up with a kill as Austin couldn't keep it alive. What's that Barnett says when it's 11-11?
French fries on the board.
Thank you, Kevin.
That was another chase.
Tied 11 here in this fourth set.
Smart savings off it with chase.
Service error for Jordan Larson, and it's 12-11. Austin leading, trying to close out the hometown team in 4. Back to Baxter Arena after this.
Nebraska's vacation after the long for college night as they take on Love Madison. Tickets are still available at Ticketmaster or at LOVB.com/tickets-central. Hey Nebraska, help us choose the official team nickname. This team was built to belong to this state. Scan the QR code on the video board or go to LOVB.com/name your team and submit your nickname today. Submissions close February 22nd.
All right, fans, it's time to get you in on the action. Stanley
service errors in this set alone for Nebraska now. Or excuse me, that one's Austin. Yeah, both teams now with 4 service errors in one set.
Dykema covers things up after losing the joust. Bausch kept alive by Banks. Jarvis sends it back over. Good work by Austin. Keep that ball in play. Bausch dug by Jarvis on the money. Skinner. Zoe Jarvis, incredible dig that set things up.
She's been a huge addition as well for Austin. 2 high-level liberos, but getting some defense going here. Pops it up, gets it in perfect position for O'Reilly to run that backcourt.
Drevniak blocked by O'Neal. And now they're looking at the up official.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of an early whistle. It was a good block, but it was covered legally, so the play could have gone on.
So we were playing the point?
That's right.
Okay. 14-12. So advantage for Nebraska after the service error. Looked like they were going to be down 14-12 instead, 15-12 instead 14-13 after that turn of events. And Austin challenged. What are they challenging?
I think they might have thought that ball was in. It was very close.
Yeah.
Well, not close enough.
Did not look close in real time.
I don't think Skinner thought it was close either. She had a look on her face that was like, I'm not sure we should challenge this.
2 challenges per set each team. Win the challenge, you get to keep it. And Dykema goes long. She's hoping against hope that that ball stayed in.
There have been so many service errors in this set. We're overdue for an ace, I'd say.
I don't know if we're going to get one, though. That one, too, real time looked like it was long, but let's see. Yep, point Austin. And Dykema can't believe it. Another service error in this set. Very close. Maddie Banks serve. That pass too tight to the net. It rolls along the tape for a bit. 16-13 Austin.
Looking for this serve to go straight down the line to Bausch.
You called it. Bausch had the pass. Bausch with the wrist away. Hard angle attack. Not a lot of court to work with over there. She threaded it in.
I love that response by Bausch as well. If you know you're going to be served, absolute nails to her setter, and then that inside cut. Perfection.
Really well done. Now she serves. Out of system, Eggleston, forehands in front of her. Got dug by Bausch. Jordan Larson blocked by O'Neal. 17-14 Austin.
You don't see that straight down stuff on Larson very often. We talk about her volleyball IQ and how good she is at recognizing situations. That was not the chance to have a big swing, especially the way that O'Neal and Bree were lined up.
Asia O'Neal wears number 7 in honor of her father, Jermaine O'Neal, 18 years in the NBA, mostly with the Indiana Pacers. Drevniak well off the net, dug by O'Neal. O'Reilly teeing up Skinner. Madison Skinner, another kill.
Counted for double. Middle blockers defense, I talk about it all the time, but that's an area where you can leak a few points if you're not careful. O'Neal saying absolutely not. Not today. Not with me back here.
Not on my watch. 17 kills for Skinner, 17 kills for Eggleston.
I like them using Skinner from the backcourt as well. She's overdue for a few rips from the back.
But how about that duo again? Coming up big against Nebraska. To repeat, back 3.5 weeks ago when they met in the Love First Serve this year, Eggleston had 18 kills. Skinner had 17. Banks had 16. And in this one, Eggleston and Skinner each have 17. O'Neill with 6. Banks and McCage with 5 each. Hey, coming up on Wednesday, it'll be our game of the week on USA Network. That'll be 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific. It'll be Atlanta at Austin. Shelby and Courtney will have the call from HEB Center at Cedar Park. Atlanta 1-4. Looking to find some footing. Last year's regular season champions. Bausch flying high out of the back row. Dug by Skinner. McCage puts it down. 19-14 Austin. And they're closing in on a 4-set victory on the road at Nebraska.
That one was probably the swing of the night for McCage. 0 block in front of her. You don't leave McCage with no block.
She's got 6 kills now, and O'Neill will serve. This crowd at Baxter Arena positively morose right now. Complete opposite the way it was on Friday night. Julia Hansen in the match, takes her second swing, and she gets blocked. Hansen made her pro debut. First-year player out of the University of Minnesota made her pro debut. Very late in the 5th set. In a close 5th set when Nebraska won over Madison on Friday. Now, she finally got a couple of swings. Here comes Hansen. Blocked again. Julia Hansen maybe learning some lessons. And how about O'Reilly on the block?
Yeah, that's a solid block, and that's 3 already in this set for Austin. They're doing a great job of shutting down that area. That's one of the high traffic areas on Nebraska's side.
Julia Hansen. Golden Gophers were eliminated in the 3rd round by Pitt. Hansen's final collegiate match was December 11th. And she made her pro debut very briefly again late in that 5th set on Friday. Getting some run here. There's Hansen. Off the block. She continues to thunder it into the block. And that time she got the job done.
And I like that her setter, Dykema, had faith to go back to her 3 times in a row, especially after 2 big stuff blocks.
And mark it down, the first career kill for Julia Hansen. On the slide, McCage. And Austin closing in, 22-15. Every set has been dominant one way or the other. Again, that first set, 25-22. Nebraska, a few points at the end to make it look closer than it really was. Drevniak. O'Reilly and Jarvis keep it alive. There's a dig by Bausch. Drevniak again. Blocked by McCage, but out of bounds. Despite the great work by Jarvis, getting some run in the libero jersey after Katoe Inoue had some uncharacteristic struggles. Lexi Hart checking in for Nebraska. So a couple of players who haven't seen much playing time. Lexi Hart had played just 3 sets entering this match, getting in for her 2nd set in this one. Well, I like it by Susie Fritz. With the horses maybe out of the barn here, get some players some experience. Molly McCage straight down to the floor.
And you can see the change now that both serving teams have taken a little bit of pressure off because they made so many errors in this set alone that now it's just free pickings, especially if that ball's perfectly for O'Reilly. She's going to use McCage everywhere.
And that low set just above the net. Blossom going to Hart. Off the block, covered up nicely by Rodriguez. Banks likewise. And on the free ball, miscommunication for Nebraska. Things falling apart for the hometowners. And it's match point for Austin.
It feels as though Austin's getting scrappier and Nebraska's getting shyer. You cannot lose a free ball on a miscommunication. That is volleyball 101.
McCage 8 kills now to go along with a couple of blocks. Thader, dug by Jarvis. Off speed into the block from Skinner. And they're going to check.
Yeah, Skinner looked pretty confident, and I have to agree, going into the hands and out of bounds to get the point for Austin. If I were to call it, I'm thinking this set is over. This match is over.
If so, Austin will snap a 2-match losing streak.
Ooh, that's no fingers, so that's a difficult call. I think there's a wiggle of the arm there.
Look at the left forearm. It sure looked like it.
That's an elite play by Skinner as well.
Yes, it is. Watch the left forearm. Look like there's some movement there. They say challenge successful. And so Love Austin, they dominate the third and fourth sets, and they knock off Nebraska. Austin snaps a 2-match winning streak. Nebraska's a losing streak. Nebraska's 2-match winning streak comes to an end. Nebraska now 3-3, and Austin alone in second place, 4-3. They are trailing first place Salt Lake. And Austin will play again in just 3 days as they host Atlanta in our match of the week, 8 o'clock Eastern on USA Network. Good turnaround for them after they let one get away in Salt Lake City on Thursday.
Yeah, and this is the Austin that we've come to expect, right? Pressure at the net, aggressive, using the